Where are we going? North.
Welcome to Dungeons and Dragons.
Therapeutic benefit in role-playing games. Welcome to Dungeons and Dragons.
Oh yeah, baby. Your presence requested in exchange for treasures.
Ripper.
Are we talking one treasure each?
Count that.
Welcome back to Dege and Dragons. We are in the midst of our final cartoon, Dege Time, where we have Brigadoon's brigade was confronted by Logan Black about 3 warring mob bosses, a prophecy where the only information we learned about it was that it was the prophecy. And he then vanished in a cloud of smoke as a gang of bikers rides for the group. And we last saw Rippa and Gobby both just so juiced to fight somebody.
I was muted. Gobby!
Gobby, I like the cut of your jib. Let's go with those bikers.
I don't. And I kick Gobby Jack.
Ow!
Gizmo just wants to appear part of the group, and so he's like, "Yeah, let's get him."
So I'm just bounding after them.
Before Ripper like sprints away like that, Gobby just jumps onto his shoulder. So you see this little goblin standing on Ripper's shoulder as he's like,
Yeah, this disgusting, super hairy goblin just jumps on Rippa's shoulder, and Rippa's run makes no sense because he's covering like 5 to 10 yards per stride, like
an obscene amount of distance per stride.
Yeah, so it's not even like it's like slow mo, but he's running like 5 times as fast as a normal human would run.
Is it like lower gravity? Right? Like, I'm guessing.
Oh no,
it's just a
gravity.
gravity.
You're like a giraffe or something.
It's just Rippa's
speed and power.
Rippa's tubular speed, dude.
As they're coming up, I don't know, we're maybe like at this point, 20, 30, 40 feet away. We're approaching. I'm gonna like just take the horn, blow it without poking out an eye this time. And
Roll.
Damn. Yeah, roll for it.
I'm just
Maybe I do. No, he might bodge. This is important.
you know what? Let's do it.
Let's roll to see if you lose your other eye.
I got a 6 on a D12,
Damn.
so it's a 50-50 shot, I guess.
Yeah.
So yeah, as I do that, the horn blows, and you see this small goose, just kind of like sprint out of nowhere, and right up alongside Rippa and I. And the goose shouldn't be able to be keeping up, but somehow it is, because cartoon. And just
The realism is 1 for this show, so
beautiful.
yeah. Or if we recall, the dial of realism is as low as
the die was at a 3 during the Magic Ghoul Bus, so
yeah. All of that was science.
Yeah, science.
yeah, science rules.
Yeah.
Trust science.
Trust science. This is the opposite of science.
Yes.
as a flightless goose is running at like Roadrunner speed,
But this
like,
isn't.
catching up. There's a smoke cloud just like in its wake.
And this isn't just any goose. No, this is a baby giant death goose.
This is a baby giant death goose, which would appear as the normal size of a goose.
Right.
Are you sure it's not just a goose and you're just stupid?
I can't hear you. I'm really far away.
All right, so we have that going on. Gizmo, Cameron, what do we want to do with this scene?
I'm cool. Gizmo just kind of like trotting along, gets on all fours. The goose like neck and neck with the goose.
Yeah, it becomes a race. Like Gizmo's like,
I mean, Cameron's going to make his way over there, but he is definitely not going to put nearly as much effort as the other 3 are. As far as, movement
Cameron
of getting there. He's just like nonchalantly walking. Probably, dragging his little pipe mace behind him.
and Casanova at this point is going to take his robe and just fling it into the air so that he's completely nude, and then also unsheath his lava sword and charge into battle as well. But he's going to have like a Naruto charge where both his hands are behind his back.
Where was it sheathed?
That's what I was just going to ask.
These are important questions.
Yeah, we don't know. We see the handle and we see the robe and the sword all just kind of come out simultaneously, and you don't see a sheath.
This deeply troubles Cameron.
It should. All right, so you charge into battle, quote unquote, and what's the intent here for the bikers riding at you? Just immediate combat?
So as I'm running, I'm just gonna go, you have 5 seconds to decide whether you're friends or enemies, because Ripper's on the way!
Shouldn't you know if they're friends or enemy, Ripper? Don't you always know?
I do, but Ripper likes to just dive right in. Ha ha! Ripper!
Gobby!
Gizmo?
So you have a trait that is called Ripper Knows.
Alright, can I roll for that, or should I just know?
So you can just roll to know if they're friend or foe using Ripper Knows as a modifier.
That's
Perfect,
awesome.
So,
I didn't even realize that.
So that's an 8 plus the 4, right? So that's 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
Yeah, so that's a 12 in the human tier. So that's really high.
Yeah. Ripper!
You know, based on the prophecy-esque info you received from Logan Black, that these are Fozzie's goons, and they will try to recruit you to work for Fozzie by force only.
All right, so perfect. So I'm gonna yell out, Ripper knows, and I'm gonna go, who wants some of the Ripper? And I'm gonna dive into the air and do a flying kick at the bikers closest to me.
So your intent is essentially to drop kick one off of the bike with such force that he then rockets into a second biker.
That's absolutely correct. Yep.
That's what I heard.
As that happens, though, like as he's like flying through the air, you see Gobby Jack kind of like backflip off of his shoulder and land onto the baby death goose. Just because,
all right.
Yeah.
So it's like, what else? Because I want the whole scene to play out like as perfectly as possible. So what else do we want to do as part of the scene?
So I'm gonna once I backflip onto the death goose, he's gonna I'm gonna basically use the goose to charge at the bikers as still, and whatever the closest biker is, I'm basically going to command the goose to attack. I want the goose to just go nuts. I'm convinced this is a baby death goose, so I want this death goose to cause death.
Okay, so you just straight up want to just kill.
I'm just you just see Gobby Jack on the back of the goose, yeah, ha ha, and he's just letting the goose go wild.
Okay, all right. So Rippa's intent again, smash minimum 2 bikers. Gobby Jack wants his death goose to straight up murder one of these bikers. Gizmo, Cameron.
I'm gonna follow the goose. I mean, Gizmo has experience with some pretty impressive birds from his adventures, and so Gizmo sees the goose and he's like, "Yeah, all right," and kind of follows along with the goose, and scared of the goose, so stays a little farther back, but follows nonetheless.
Okay, so you also are going to just beat down some biker on his bike.
Yeah.
Okay. Cameron.
And I believe Cameron is probably going to take out a small device that looks like a breathing apparatus and put a small mask over his mouth for a moment and breathes in very deeply. And the next moment, or the next scene, is just Cameron picking up one of the motorcycles and bashing it into another one of the motorcycles.
Okay. So, this is going to be the progression. We're going to have Rippa as the initiator. So while he's mid-air drop kicking one, that's when Gobby Jack backflips off onto the goose. So he's coming in to make his contact here. The goose will then hop onto a second bike and begin maiming that dude to death. Gizmo follows suit with the goose, and they're just going to double team this dude to his demise. And Cameron Steele is going to grab the bike that's in motion, that was relieved of its driver by Rippa, and use the speed to full on swing it all the way around and propel it directly into another one. And Casanova is going to look to clean up. He sees that the rest of the crew is ready to essentially destroy these guys. And he's just going to go to cut whoever's left in half. So, all right. So, starting with Rippo, let's make that initial attack roll there. I think that... CQC, Tubular Specialist, Strongman, Intimidating Presence, all of these, I think, work.
So that's a 2. I'm gonna re-roll that though. I'm gonna use my
Use an oomph.
yeah, because that would be a disaster. That's a 5. That's better, but I'm gonna add a bunch of stuff to that. So Strongman, that's a 9, and then
That's pretty much all you need.
yeah.
You want to use another oomph?
This is
add
Rippo.
Yeah, I
yourself
want to use
down.
another room. So that's what, 2? Because it's not listed on the thing. I forget.
So when you use your oomph, you add your star power to a roll. You want to do that. So you'd be adding additional +3.
Yes, that's what I'll do. So that's a 12.
Okay. So to get things started, you rolled a 12 against a 10. I'm sorry, against a 4. And so you like drop kick this dude so hard that like you cave in his chest, and it's like there's a slow-mo moment where like you're striking him and it's like force is building up like as like a spring, and then all of a sudden he like rockets back into the biker behind him, and he then collides with that guy, and they both go flying off like a good 20 feet behind the bikes. So that initial attack is not only successful, you just absolutely own these guys. So from there, we'll flip on to Gobby Jack, and we'll do his attack roll.
All right, so that's a 3 on the dice. I'm gonna spend an oomph to an oomph. I'm gonna spend an oomph to re-roll that. And I'm glad I did, because that is an 8 on the die. And I'm gonna add I think I'm gonna add Doom Honks. No, Mighty Bite rather. Mighty Bite from the Goose to bring that up to a 10.
So that's a 10 against a 5. So you hop on to the next one, and the Goose just straight up like bites him. I'd say like on the face, because like you're just like, get him, Goose, and the Goose is just like, and it just goes straight ahead and ends up biting his face and just keeps like chomping down with the death geese. If you remember from Goblinville, actually do have teeth. They're like, but they are tiny, but it's chomping down on his face over and over. And Gizmo is now jumping on top of this guy as well, who's just getting destroyed by the Goose.
Yeah, just so Gizmo's more of a roguish character, so he waits till the tussle breaks out, and then he waits till he's totally distracted to be able to hop onto his back and start like paw flurry against the back of his head.
As the front of his head's getting mauled by a goose.
Yeah.
Yes.
Just slash in the back of his head. We have to pan away and like go off camera because of like how violent it is, like getting maimed to death by the death goose, and Gizmo just being torn apart, his whole head being torn apart.
The TV PG logo comes up again in the middle of this corner of the screen.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Beep, please stand by.
And you just see Cameron look at that, and then his hand goes up, and then something goes over his hands, just blocks whatever obscene gesture that he's making towards said marking.
And that's just when he also stops, catches the in-motion motorcycle to grab it and swing it around into...
Yeah, because whatever Cameron just huffed definitely is making him see that PG in the sky right now.
Oh, sorry, so just the attack roll.
Oh, right. Is that a 9 or a 6? That is a 9. So I guess everything is a weapon, and sure, I'll throw oomph in there and add my star power. So that's going to be a 15.
Nice. Yeah, so while this is like a crazy feat for like human tier, You see that Cameron Steele somehow redirects this speeding motorcycle and actually gets it off the ground and uses
He's
it
worked
as
a lot with like luchadors. He knows how to change momentum, or somebody much larger than his momentum, to wrestling stuff. I don't know, Nate. You explain it better.
I mean, that kind of works. That kind of works.
Okay.
You use their own momentum against them.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the motorcycle smashes into. I'm going to say that it just straight up hits another motorcycle that's in motion, and then there's just like an explosion, and the guy goes like smoking like Team Rocket, like off into the distance.
Yeah, I like that.
Plastic up again!
So you destroy this entire biker gang in one swift go, and Casanova is like charging up with the sword, and then just stops and looks around and sees that everyone's defeated. And then just like directly above him somehow, he like puts his arm up and the robe lands on him, and he goes and takes the sword and he swings it behind himself, and it's out of sight.
I have so many questions.
And at that point, after you've defeated all the bikers, you see that there's one smaller bike that's just kind of putting along towards you, and there's an old man with the perm coming up to you, and his speed or his velocity is definitely not attack speed like the rest of them, and he doesn't have any visible weapons.
He's coming to attack us!
Yeah, which like Gobby believes that he's also coming to attack you.
Gizmo has an ability called Smell Magic.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd be interested to sniff and see if he can discern any kind of ill intent.
Okay, nice. Let's do it.
And remind me, is it just an adding of the raw skill level of the trait?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I rolled a 9.
9. Nice. All right, that's a success. So this isn't like a versus challenge roll. It's a static. So yes, you smell the air, and you smell that none of the bikers possess any magic, and you do smell that there is magic, like a magical aura around this old man who's coming toward you. The type of magic that you smell is like some weird like psychic energy, like necromancy, just like very like bizarre mysticism that you feel uncomfortable with.
Hey guys, I'm pretty uncomfortable, and not from mauling that guy's head. I mean from this guy approaching us. He kind of smells funny, like he I don't want to overstate things, but like maybe raises the dead or something like that.
Raises the dead. That's awesome.
Yeah, just a feeling.
I don't know, there's a lot of dead people around here right now, so maybe we should be concerned about that.
He'll join the Ironics if Ripper gets through with him.
They're dead? I thought they were just sleeping.
You call that thing a death goose.
And?
Aren't you the thinker of your species?
Yes.
I have grenades,
I understand
Those
why
cause
you don't
death?
exist in my world.
I feel like maybe I've met my match.
And you see the old man from his bike just go. And all of
this.
What's that?
No, just like camera pans to Cameron Steele. Just like, should we stop this?
Yeah. Karen says, "Can we stop this?" And you see all of the bikers like cracking like back into place and standing back up, and that's where that clip ends.
Welcome to Dungeons and Dragons.